Welcome to Opening Arguments, where 16 attorneys' primary objective is to get laughed out of court. They will be competing in single elimination rounds for the coveted title, Cleverest Counselor. Each attorney has 2 minutes for an opening argument in an attempt to win the votes of at least 2 of a 3-member jury. And how ridiculous are the cases they'll be arguing? Let's take a look.
I want to start by saying that clearly Acme products are completely junk. I can prove this because they're secretly owned by Radio Shack. We all know about Radio Shack.
Acme makes a superb crane and ball. Here we see Wile E. Coyote operating this crane and ball. Look at that expression. We've all seen coyotes operate cranes before, haven't we? Have you ever seen one that looks more incompetent than this one?
When the 3 little pigs killed the big bad wolf, was it self-defense or premeditated murder?
When he came down the chimney and fell in a pot of water, I don't care if he was boiling mad. I certainly don't care if he was mad that he was boiling. The only thing I was concerned about was that his fur didn't shrink. The pigs might have wanted to use him for a throw rug later, you know?
Sure.
This case is similar to the famous case State of Gingerbread versus Hansel and Gretel. In that case, Hansel and Gretel were originally found not guilty of murdering the witch, but on appeal, the Supreme Court held Hansel and Gretel guilty.
16 attorneys, 11 different cases, 7 episodes to see who is the cleverest counselor and will win opening arguments. What would the most famous TV attorney of all time think about the new hilarious game show for lawyers called Opening Arguments? Who cares? Perry Mason never laughed a day in his life.
Court is now in session.
Opening Arguments. Do you want to hear some cases argued by attorneys unlike anywhere else on the planet? Then check out the hilarious new game show called Opening Arguments, where 16 lawyers compete for the title Cleverest Counselor. Some of the wacky cases include, when the 3 little pigs killed the big bad wolf, was it self-defense or premeditated murder? Between the state and federal government, who should have jurisdiction over the law of gravity? If a child gets sick from eating green eggs and ham, should the publisher of the book be liable, or Sam I Am? Are these cases absolutely ridiculous? Oh, that's for sure. Opening Arguments. The Supreme Court of the United States is the highest court in the federal judiciary in the nation. The court holds the power of judicial review and the ability to invalidate a statute for violating provision of the Constitution. With all that power and authority, why in the world are those justices commenting on some of the cases that are on the game show for lawyers called Opening Arguments? Here are some examples.
When the 3 little pigs killed the big bad wolf, was it self-defense or premeditated murder?
Justice Neil Gorsuch got emotional when he spoke about the big bad wolf losing his life.
I just think it was just such a pity his time was cut short.
Should witches on their brooms flying on Halloween have to adhere to the same FAA laws as Santa Claus?
On this particular case, Justice Elena Kagan played it safe.
I don't know anything.
After being contacted through a seance, Justice Thurgood Marshall was blunt and direct in how he felt about the new game show when he said, quote, "What the?" unquote. Opening Arguments.